Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for tuning in to the Real Life Coach. I am here. I'm back, the Real Life Coach. Um, Today's episode is going to be about dating and all that good stuff and having friends and your daughters going on dates. And I said daughters. I didn't say nothing about the boys yet. See, that's a whole nother episode because Corey feel like it's a different story. You know why I think that? Because I'm a man and I'm a grown man. And I can think, no, I'm just saying. But for real though, I think that whether we want to admit it or not, that we see it differently, especially men. But that's a whole nother category. And by the way, I didn't say it was fair or unfair. I'm just telling you that that's how it is. Don't be mad at me. Do not be mad at me. But before we get into this, I appreciate you all like, sharing, and subscribing. And stick with me because this channel will grow. We will stick at it and we'll make it move. We got to get the word out there to the parents that really need to hear some of this stuff. And I think that I can give you some good input on these things. But before we get into the whole, I messed up, into the whole what age they should be and all that stuff, I think that it is very important that we go over the definition of dating. See, because some people, they just say date, and we use that word so loosely, it's like unreal. That is not a loose word. In fact, I believe it is a very serious thing. And when that word come into play, I think that we need no, not let me. I'm gonna stop saying I think stuff because some stuff I know, right? And we need to stop using that word so loosely. Really, really, we do. So dating is intentionally spending time with somebody of the opposite sex. Okay, because there's romantic interest and the possibility of developing a romantic relationship. Um, so look, when we say the possibility of developing a romantic relationship, I think that, see, there I go with that word again. I know that that word separates dating from my 13-year-old daughter, from my 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20. See, I can go on forever because I'm a man and I think differently about that. But on the real, how dare us even put a child or any kind of teen in a situation where it's a possibility of developing a romantic relationship. Now I know that, and I'm not claiming that everybody that wants to get in a relationship or date somebody is looking. I'm sorry, let me reword that. I'm sure that everybody that's looking to get in a date in a dating to date, they may not be looking to be romantic yet, but that may be because one, they either don't understand that there's a difference between dating and a friend, or they don't understand that some parents may not understand that, look, that little boy, he gonna, puberty gonna kick in and he gonna start wanting to, get curious. And she right there, and she like him because him funny. See how they work. Next thing you know, you wonder what happened. That you let the baby go out on a date. Um, so friendship is not dating. There's a huge difference in friendships. Your daughter talking to boys, having male friends, going to school events, hanging out in groups, learning how to communicate with the opposite sex, which is healthy. That does not require her to be somebody's girlfriend or to be somebody's date. Those are not dates. So let's distinguish, because when we tell them, okay, this is your friend, and they say, okay, that's a friend. We know what a friend is. But then when you say dating, it's like, that's different. Don't you agree with that? Do y'all agree with that? Um, Let me see. It's important because somebody will say, well, how is she ever going to learn how to deal with boys? That's a good one, right? She can learn social skills without entering, she can learn social skills without entering a romantic relationship or a friendship, because there is a difference. There are expectations when you put yourself in that boat. Um so I was doing a little research on this, and I'm gonna check my message in a minute, y'all, just in case somebody had a question or anything. But I'm right after this one. I was doing some research on this, and typically speaking, this is what society got to say about that. Between the ages of 12 and 13, you know, they start having little crushes. Oh, he's cute, she's cute, whatever. And that's normal. You can't look, there's nothing you can do about that. You cannot avoid that. That's gonna happen without your hearsay or nothing. The question is how do you deal with that? Right? How do you teach them to deal with that kind of stuff? Do you teach, look, it's okay, to think whatever, but that don't mean you won't and go here and go there with it. You understand what I'm saying? Um, Between the ages of 14 and 15, group dates or little boyfriend, girlfriend relationships. This is what they say. I didn't say this. I'm telling you what the mass people say. I don't agree with this mess. I don't. I really don't. Um, you know, Little boyfriend, girlfriend relationships. Yeah, because that's just leaving. It's normal. I know a lot of people might be like, come on, Corey. Come on, man. Look, dog, it's getting normalized. And the bar is steady being moved, closer and closer and closer. And this is why we see our little girls getting involved and acting growner and growner and growner by the year. Before long, the kids gonna be coming out telling you what to do. I'm finna get married. I like your boyfriend, mama. You see what I'm saying? I'm telling you. Think I'm playing. This how this go. You know how many times you see this going on where and I know a lot of y'all have seen this where the little girl end up messing around with the mama's boyfriend because she done kicked daddy out. Dude done moved in, and now here come little Johnny messing with the daughter. You see what I'm saying? Because he got a sickness too. It's crazy. So at 16, they say they should be ready to date. So what you're telling me is at 16, they're either ready for a romantic relationship or they're preparing for a romantic relationship. So if they 16 and they dating, so when do you think this stuff is gonna start happening? Let's be real. With all the stuff they see on TV, all the stuff on the internet, all the influences out here. Let's be real. If you tell your daughter she's 16, okay, you can date. That's your boyfriend. It's cool with me. How long do you think before that stomach is gonna be popped out? I don't know. Because I'm not doing it. Don't look. And if these things happen, I know a lot of people might say, but it can happen anyway. And it can. But if it do happen, does that mean that you had to be the one to participate in it to make it happen? To make it, you pushed it because people say, well, that's okay. Look, don't let people tell you, not even me, just because I'm talking. Look, you make up your own mind. You do what you want to do. Let me know how it work out for you. I tried some things. I ain't tried that with my daughters, thank God. I probably would have never would have. But the point is, sometimes we think things are cute and we think they're okay until they come back to bite us. You know what I'm saying? And then they say at between 17 and 18, the parents should loosen up. I don't know what they mean by loosen up. You know what I'm saying? Because these things should be monitored. Just think about this. Think about how the way your brain worked today, right? And then think back when you was 18. Now just really let that sink in. Think about how you think today versus when you was 18. And then you tell me, do you think that's an appropriate age? Now, for some people, it may be. And I'm going to tell y'all something about that. Now, y'all going to jump on me about this, but I'm going to just keep it real. I believe that a woman, a female, is ready at a younger age than what a man would be. I think that a man, because and here's one of the main reasons why, because a man is typically the head of the household. He's kind of like the man. You know what I'm saying? He the one that's in charge and making things move and making the majority of the decisions. So, and typically you see in marriage, the older man maybe has a younger girl. I ain't talking about the borderline stuff. I'm just talking about, say a woman is 18, she got a husband that's 21, 20. There's nothing wrong with that. And then the further, the older you get, you know what I'm saying, the bigger that gap can grow. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I mean, of course you wouldn't want no 20-year-old messing with no 10-year-old, but a 50-year-old can mess with a 40-year-old, or not mess with, let's say marry a 40-year-old. So y'all understand what I'm saying. So I think that's where it defends. That's where, let me say, I can't say the word. That's where it get different, because I think there is a difference between a man and a woman. So she would typically have, just say at the age of 18, if she was about to get married, then he would be like what, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But he's a lot more mature than another 18-year-old male that's her age. So those things can come in to play. Let me come over here and see. Let me come back to y'all and see. No, I don't have it. No, it's only two people here saying there's no no questions. Okay. Yeah, but there's a couple comments in this day. They're doing even doing it younger. Yeah, they are. My dad wasn't in my life to teach me correctly, and that's a big thing. This is one of the big reasons why we need to be there for our babies. And got married at 16. That's young. I think it's different when the father's in the home. It is. It is. Yeah. So that's pretty young. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know about that. Like 16, I just can't. I can't imagine. Um, if somebody said like, "What the heck?" Yeah. I'm sorry. I can't relate to that one. I just can't imagine that. You know what I'm saying? Um, so when you date, and that's the thing, right? So at 16, do you even know the the purpose of being married? Do you even know the purpose of what dating is? Because you set yourself up. Look, the time to date is when you decide, look, you know what, this is a guy or a woman that I think that I might want to marry. It ain't about, we look at girls, us men, we look at girls and we might look at certain things and be like, I like that, you know, I'm gonna hook up and, y'all got to understand that. And you got to be aware of that because you can't let yourself go out like that. And you know the difference between somebody lusting for you and your body than want to love you and get together and make a family and be with you forever. You know the difference. But the problem is a lot of times we don't want to see the difference because we only see the attractions and the lust and the things that we really interested in and don't want to be honest. Um, yeah, yeah. Could this person be my spouse? And then that's where it goes. That doesn't mean you marry everybody you date, but that don't mean you go around dating everybody either. Like you just don't talk on the phone or something. You know what I'm saying? Because especially nowadays, man, and even in my day, when you take somebody, when a man takes somebody on a date, typically, I'm telling you, he got something else on his mind. Um, Let me see. I'm trying to see how to dip into this next topic. Um, so let's get into the sexual attraction thing. It's obvious and it's an obvious and foreseeable part of romantic relationships. So this is why I can't relate to allowing a 13, 14, 15, all that the teen stuff, no teenager to say, hey, go date. Because what are you telling them to do? What are you preparing them for? Is it marriage or is it something else? So again, when we understand what these words mean, then we know. And then I know that a lot of people have a lot of different definitions for different words. So we got to get these words together so that when we say things to people in general, we know what we're saying and we know what we get it. So it's like, just think about this. If you go to the average person, and I'm not saying people dumb, I'm just saying that people sometimes don't think about stuff. Just go ask them, say, define dating. And they're gonna be like, okay, they can do it, but they gotta think like, damn, I didn't think about it like that. I'm telling you, it sounds so simple, but it's true. Um, yeah, so so I did another chart. Let me see. A 14-year-old boy may sincerely like your daughter and not be plotting to sleep with her, but he's also, this is a good one right here. A 14-year-old may sincerely like your daughter and not be plotting to sleep with her, but he's also going through puberty, and so is she. Attraction, hormones, touching, kissing, privacy, emotional attachment, jealousy, and sexual curiosity can all become part of the equation. Um, so why would you put a teenager in that situation? For what? There's no reason for that. And when you say, let's go back and talk about um, how do they get prepared? The biggest thing is the biggest way to prepare your daughter for marriage is be an example to her. How you treat her and how you treat her mother is what she'll expect out of a man. Are you just a pushover? Are you violent? Are you disrespectful? Are you messing around? Got 4 or 5 different women? Then then your daughter probably gonna expect these things from her husband. I'm just telling you. See, we always want to put stuff in, and we don't want what come out. You have to be that example. You got to be that good example. We can't just go around here and be doing this and doing that and then expect something different. That don't work. It might every now and then, but for the most part, that is not going to work because everybody's not the same. But let me see. Why the parent instead of saying, okay, let me see. So my opinion, and I wrote this down for you so I don't forget. At the age of 14, I believe that friendship, social development, character boundaries, and there's no reason to manufacture romantic relationships at all at the age of 14. That's just unreal to me. That's crazy to me. That's almost like if you pushing them in a date at the age of 14, is almost pushing something that, I don't want to say the word, but almost you're pushing something illegal. It's just crazy because now that you know what it means, how could you dare do that? Between 14 and 15, say like 15, learn how to communicate with the opposite sex, recognize attraction, understand boundaries in healthy relationships, but that doesn't automatically mean dating. And see, another thing for most of us, especially as men, if your 14, 15-year-old daughter come and tell you, I think he's cute, we're gonna be like, what? And it's going, but if you make it a big deal, you instantly turn them off. You have to relax, man. Quit going off. If she tell you that, you should be happy she told you that. One, she's not gay. Two, that she felt comfortable enough to come to you and talk to you about it. So why would you give her any signals that it's the opposite? Just calm down, relax, and talk to her. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Tell her the rules and tell her to say that's normal, but those are things that you don't act on because you're still a kid. And here are the benefits, and here are the pros and here are the cons. And the pros at that age, when it comes to that, are nothing. There's nothing good gonna come out of that, out of you acting on it. There's only, the cons. But if you don't act on it, there's plenty of pros in that situation. By the age of, say, between 16 and 17, greater independence and social exposure, but parents should still ask what purpose a committed romantic relationship serves right now. So now you're starting to let them understand, like, what is the purpose of this? You know what I'm saying? Get it here, not down there, here. They shouldn't be even considering doing these things. And if they are, they shouldn't be getting the permission from you. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. Let them know that no, I'm not pleased with that. What we do around here is, we get married, and there's a time and a place for that. So 18 plus. Now here's where it get a little at. All right, now you're approaching adulthood, independence, work, college, and age where choosing a future spouse is no longer some distant childhood concept. Dating with serious intent begins making dating with serious intent begins making considerably more sense. And it does. But even with some 18-year-olds, they are just not ready. And that's not a good thing. And that's not a bad thing. It's just what it is for that particular specific individual. If they are not ready, they're not ready. And then some girls or young ladies may not be ready till they're 25, 30. It all depends. And at that point, to be honest with you, it's really up to them. Why do you say? Look, my 18-year-old is going, she ain't 18 yet, but in my mind, she always gonna be my baby. But at the same token, I can't tell her, you better not marry him. What I'm gonna do? What I'm gonna do? Beat her up? I'm gonna call the police on her, right? There's nothing you can do. So that's why I say it's not up to you, because it's up to her that if she even want to listen to you anymore. But if you build a strong relationship with her, you know what I'm saying, and talk to her and be a good advisor, she will come to you and talk about these things. And you may be able to lead her in the right direction. What is the right direction? I don't know. That's between you and her. And God will take care of that. God will take care of that if you allow him to do so. But I just know that just because a woman is 18 does not mean she's ready, and it don't mean that she's not either. You know what I'm saying? You gotta look into how mature the girl is and how whatever, because at the end of the day, you cannot determine if they are from the outside looking in. That is what her parents are for. Her parents should really just analyze it, and you'll know naturally. You know what I'm saying? And some kids are, some young ladies are ready faster than others. And that don't mean they fast. See, we're not talking about fast girls. We're talking about you just got different levels of maturity as well as you do with men. And you don't push them into it. They will know. They'll know. And they will let you know. And trust me, when they get to that point to where they know that they got a right to do this and blah, 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 they're going to just straight up tell you. And if you don't like it, then you don't like it. You know what I'm saying? But don't push your teens to that. You know, let them have friends and let them know, let your teenage girls know that there are boundaries and we should not cross those boundaries and we should not allow anybody to cross over into those boundaries. And they should be completely comfortable with coming to you and talking about these things. And one of the key things is, I promise you, is don't flip out. Because if you flip out, you done made a big deal out of it. And now they want to explore. You know what I'm saying? And when that start happening, you know how it go. It's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to hold y'all up. You know what I'm saying? I just want to make sure I got that out. And you know, just keep it real, right on the level, because regardless of whatever else you say, this is what we're dealing with right here, right now, today in our faces. You know what I'm saying? This is a different, we're in a different climate than what we were. Things are moving a whole lot faster because information is readily available right in your face all day long about anything. So this is how it is. You know what I'm saying? So pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Stay alert and wake up before you go to sleep. Peace. I'm out of here.